It's me again, and today I want us to talk about childhood obesity. Now, when we say childhood obesity, we are referring to persons under the age of 18, according to the laws of Zambia, because we focus so much on children under 5 in this country, and I think we are doing very well addressing nutritional concerns for children under 5. But then, after the age of 5, what happens? Because right now, according to the Zambia Demographic and Health Survey of 2024, we are being told that obesity is not that much because it focuses on children under 5. So when we look at our under 5 children, the main concern is stunted growth, which is poor height. When you compare the height and the age of the child, it's not corresponding well. And so 32% of our children in Zambia have stunted growth. And the World Health Organization requests that all countries at least have stunting below 20%. Then it is not a public health alarm. But right now in Zambia, we are at an alarming rate of stunted growth in children under 5. But when it comes to obesity, the ZDHS tells us that only 4% of children under 5 are actually obese. But what about children above 5? And unfortunately, we do not have enough information about them. But really, from my observation, trust me, it is becoming a concern, especially in urban areas. Of course, when we look at country level information, it may show a different picture. It may show that everything is okay because majority of the population are in the rural area. But our urban children, unfortunately, this, even from observation, you can see that it is becoming a growing concern because we have children who are literally moving around looking like adults. I remember I was at the shopping mall somewhere some weeks ago, and I see this bunch of kids walking around in the mall. They were literally bigger than me. And when I tried to assess from how they were talking what age they could be, I'm saying this is around like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old child. That is a concern. I know for a long time in Africa, we have looked at obesity as a sign of living well, as a sign of, rich, but unfortunately when it comes to nutrition, that is serious poverty. You're focusing on what is in the bank, but forgetting that your health will scoop it all out. Health is expensive, let's be honest, especially non-communicable diseases. The management of diabetes, the management of high blood pressure is immensely expensive. If you ask those who are on medications to manage these conditions, it is not cheap. So all that money that you are working hard for, splurging on your children to eat whatever they want, however they want, it's actually a recipe for disaster. Now, this is not me trying to make you feel bad. This is me and you trying to work together to take care of these children. Because they may not be my children, but truth be told, I'm affected. And we are literally destroying their lives as parents at a young age because the future of this country lies in those bundles of joy. Let us help each other. So if you have children who are obese, this is the time that you come closer and let's talk. So, why is it a concern? It's a concern because it puts them at risk for what we call non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases are diseases of lifestyle like diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, stroke, and name it. Already, we as parents are already having these problems at such a young age. We have 35-year-olds who are diabetic, hypertensive, and so forth. So basically, if we pass that on to our children, we are just reducing the number of years when these diseases begin. In the past, or what normally should happen, if at all you have to get this disease for some reason, either family history or whatever, it should be way later in your life. We're talking 80, 85, 90-year-olds struggling with managing or regulating their blood pressure. And if they do it well in their early years, trust me, you'll find an 80-year-old who has never known what diabetes is, who has never known what high blood pressure is. And so it is very possible that through diet alone, we can put these diseases at bay. But unfortunately, from what I'm seeing, the morbidly obese children that are walking around the streets, it is not a good sign. We are talking 10-year-old, we are talking 5, we are talking even 2, right? One can argue to say, look, my child was born at 6 kgs, so you don't expect the child to be of normal weight. No, that's not the case. The child could be born big for a number of reasons, maybe because of an obese mother or just generally genetic makeup, results in the child being 5 kgs, 6 kgs at birth. But what happens, and if you take your child to under 5 clinics regularly, you're going to see that curve starting from up and trying to join the normal curve. And again, it doesn't have to be on the normal curve, but it will just be around that normal curve, what we call the 0 Z-score. But if you are seeing your child going way up, you need to be concerned. What then can we do together to see to it that our children are eating or are having healthy diets? First and foremost, let's plan meals with a nutrition lens. Know the 6 food groups and know how we are going to eat as a family. Let's have more vegetables. Let's have more fruits. Let's have more home-cooked foods. Minimally processed foods as well. And when I say minimally processed, I'm talking about foods where you just, from the ground, as natural as it is, you just chop it up or blend it. Just minimal processing. Not packaged foods, not foods that you can't recognize at first glance what it is. That cannot be the main base of your diet as a family. No. It has to be foods you can recognize and get the kids involved to know what foods these are, how it's grown. Have a vegetable garden where you get foods freshly from the garden and prepare the meals at home, right? Now, I know parents will tell me, but what about, I have a fussy eater. My child doesn't like tomatoes. My child doesn't eat beans. Yes. Look, they know what they want, but you know what they need. Capitalize on those good things that you know they like. If, let's say, your child loves yogurt, that's a good food, but maybe not the sweetened yogurt. We are going to go with natural yogurt. Or your kid loves vegetables, but just don't give them, say, lumanda. This is just a random example. But then there are a number of other vegetables that they eat. Why not capitalize on that? We are not now going to say, no, every day is going to be lumanda. You're going to make that child feel very bad and make food or eating a very painful process. So capitalize on those things that you know that they like. The things that you know that they like that are not good, you minimize on them or you use them as treats. To say, okay, eat this good food first, and then once you are full, you can have a little bit of this. Secondly, let's also look at keeping them active. Can we keep our children active as much as possible? Being on the tablet all the time is not being active. I know you will argue to say, well, we don't have play parks in this country, and that is true. And I hate that we don't. It's like every area that could be a play park has been turned into a plot, and kids are creative. Switch off the TV, take the tablet from them, let them find something to do outdoors. You'll be amazed. They'll be playing. Even if your yard is small, they'll find something to do with the sand. They'll build something, they'll mold something, they'll color something. Just get them off those screens. So of course that's a good way of keeping them active, so that they're using up that energy that they've consumed from food. And then also bedtime. Now that's number 3. We do not talk about this a lot, and you may wonder, what has bedtime got to do with nutrition? It has a lot to do with nutrition, because the amount of sleep that you have as a person plays a role in your hormonal balance. And hormonal balance plays a role with your diet, your mood, and how you feel the following day. You may overeat simply because you did not have enough sleep. So let's make sure that they have a fixed bedtime. Preferably, I would say before 9 p.m. All children should be asleep. Above the age of 5, most of them need at least 9 to 10 hours of sleep. They need enough rest to perform better in school, but also to digest their food better, and also to basically develop a good lifestyle that will also help their eating habits. And not having supper at 9 p.m. Again, that's another disaster. We eat a huge portion of ushima at 8 p.m. and then 9 p.m. they have to go to bed. No. Have your dinner as a family by 7 p.m., latest 8 p.m. Give them an hour or 2 and then send them off to bed. Number 4, get the school involved. What is around them? What is at the cantemba, at school, and so forth? Because kids want to eat foods that other kids are eating, I know, but that should not be the rule. we need to care about what's in the tuck shop, because we are busy parents, and sometimes the tuck shop or what is prepared, I don't know, schools are different, some offer food, but oftentimes you find that it is chips, chicken, the same foods that the children like to eat. But I think the school needs to be more creative to actually give them what they need, right? So work with the school. We have PTA meetings where we argue about school fees and time for reporting and how the uniforms are poor, the buttons are coming off easily. But what about what they are eating? To see the results you want to see of, 700 something in grade 7 and, all these flying colors, it starts with what they eat. Number 5, I just wanted to share with you. I wanted to be practical. And so I wanted to share some practical things you can do to improve their lunch boxes, at least using what is available, what is in season. It is possible to actually come up with a good menu for your children. I just hope the ideas that I'm going to share with you are going to help you, light a bulb and say, okay, this is something that I can try to pack for my kids for school. So with that said, here we go. Option number 1 for a snack would be popcorn and roasted groundnuts with pieces of cassava, or a piece of cassava with a fruit of your choice. Makes a good snack for a child, especially toddlers. Also, peanut butter with some slices of banana, and on the side you can have some slices of cucumber. Here I used African cucumber. You can also use English cucumber, and yes, a whole tomato. Ask the teacher to slice the tomatoes for the kids and let them enjoy. You'll be surprised. Option number 3 would be sweet potato chips. Instead of buying a bag of chips which has a lot of preservatives and a lot of salt, make your own chips at home using sweet potatoes, which are also high in fiber and will keep the child full for longer. Avocados make great spread for bread, and so make use of them instead of buying jam or putting jam on your child's bread, or using polony and other processed meats. You can mix avocado with leftover meat, especially chicken. Here I used pork, but chicken I think works best with 2 boiled eggs and a banana, especially for a day like Friday when they knock off early or any other day.